we are going to solve one math Olympiad question, in which we have to solve an equation that's a cube plus a square equals to 36. So how do we solve this for the values of a? Let's start. Okay. So we have variable terms on left hand side and we have a constant on the right hand side. So let's bring the constant with the variables on the left hand side. So we will have a cube plus a square and subtract both sides by 36. So you will have minus 36 on left hand side, and here they get crossed out, so you'll have a 0. 36 minus 36 is 0. Now you can use trial and error to find one factor of a, that is a. Just substitute 1, it doesn't go. 2, no. 3, let's see 3. If we substitute 3 cube plus 3 square, that's 27, plus 9 equals to 36. 36 minus 36 gives you 0. So we have one factor that a is equal to 3. We got one factor, that is by using trial and error method. So we have a minus 3 is one factor. How you have a equals to 3? Just substitute. You get 3 cube plus 3 square minus 36 equals to 0. Yes, 27 plus 9 is 36. 36 minus 36 is 0. So a is equal to 3 is one factor. Now we have one factor, and always factors are written like this, a minus 3, and you have something multiplied to that, and we don't know that. What's that? So how do we find what's multiplied to a minus 3? We can just use long division method, or you can use identity method. So when you're using identity method, you have to transform into two identities, that is a cube minus b cube or a square minus b square. Let's do with the long division method. That's super easy. So we have just divide this equation with this factor. So we have like this, a minus 3 divided by the equation as a cube plus a square minus 36. So how do we divide that? How do we divide algebraic equations? It's simple. It's like the normal division. You need to have a cube here, but we only have a, so we put on a square, so that when we multiply we get a times a square gives you a cube. Also you have to keep a notice that this constant, this number also has to be multiplied. Minus 3 times a square gives you minus 3a square. Now we will subtract it. So we have minus, change the signs, a cube minus a cube gets cancelled. A square plus 3a square gives you 4a square. And then you have negative 36 taken down. Okay, we take down negative 36. Now we have 4a square. What can we multiply here? To get 4a square with a, so you can have plus 4a. 4a times a gives you 4a squared. So we have 4a squared, and you should not forget to multiply this. Minus 3 times 4a will give you minus into plus minus. 4 times 3 is 12, and you have to multiply a. So you have minus 12a. Now let's sort this out. So when you have things like this, let's change the signs. Minus plus 4a square, negative 4a square becomes 0. You have plus 12a. You cannot add or subtract terms like this. You can only add like terms. This has a variable a, this doesn't have. This is a number. So let's keep it like that. 12a plus 12a, because we have changed signs, minus 36. Now what can you have here to have 12a? So just multiply the number 12 plus 12. Plus 12 times a gives you 12a, and you have negative 3 plus 12, so that gives you negative 36, and you have the remainder as 0. Just change the signs and you can cross out things. It's 0. So you have got what is there in this dash 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 dash. So it's a minus 3. What's your quotient which you got? A square plus 4a plus 12. How easy was that using long division methods? You can also use your identities to solve that. Okay, now when we have things when we have things solved. How many factors a can have? One factor, we already got this one factor. Now let's solve this. Yes, this is a quadratic equation. Whenever you have a power of 2, that's a quadratic equation. Now in one question you're doing multiple kind of things, multiple operations together, either long division, solving for quadratic equation. Now let's solve for this quadratic equation. Here this is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So you can use your quadratic formula. What's your quadratic formula? Now let's see if the determinant is less than 0, greater than 0, or equal to 0. If the let's see, determinant means you need to write down b squared minus 4ac. Just find out b squared minus 4ac. What's your b? B is 4. So we have 4 squared, that is 16, minus 4 into a, the coefficient of a is 1 and c is 12. So let's write down 16 minus 4 times 12 is 48, which is equal to negative 32, and it is lesser than 0. So discriminant is lesser than 0 here. So it does not have any real roots. No real roots. 0. No real roots. It only has complex roots. Yes. So you can check that out by solving your discriminant. Complex roots. Yes. 2 complex roots. If the discriminant is equal to 0, it has 1 real root. If the discriminant is greater than 0, you have 2 real roots. But if it is less than 0, you have 0 real roots. You only have 2 complex roots. Let's find out what are those complex roots. So as you know, what is your quadratic formula? Minus b plus or minus under root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I think you've heard that. Yes. So what's our b? B is 4. Here we have, it's positive 4. So let's write down negative into negative becomes negative, negative, and then you have 4, negative 4, plus or minus under root of b squared minus 4ac. You have already found it's negative 32. So I'm going to write that down, negative 32. All right, and then I have this over 2 into a. The coefficient of a is 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. Let's solve for this. So you have negative 4 plus or minus 32. How can you break down 32? 32, just take out 2 times 16 is 32, 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. So how many 2's do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically it is 32 is 2 square into 2 square into 2. Is that right? So what is square root of 32? Square root of 32 is 2 into 2, 4 root 2. Exactly. So you will have 4 root of negative 2 over you have 2. Now let me take out 2 common from this. So you will be left divide by 2, both of them. So you have minus 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 2, and negative 1 is I square. Negative 1 is always, I'm going to write that down, negative 1 is I squared. So when you have I square, square and root gets cancelled out. So you're left with minus 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 2i. That's the complex roots you have. 2 complex roots, either with negative 2 plus 2 root 2i or negative 2 root 2i. So these are the complex roots what you have. That's it. This was the question which appeared in Maths Olympiad. Hope you like this session. I'll be coming up with more such questions. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Do leave a comment in the comment box. Thank you so much for joining. Take care. Bye-bye.